Welcome back. Today we are going to discuss 2021 current affairs questions. This will be part 4. In this part 4, we will be discussing 10 questions. Okay, these 10 questions cover subjects such as polity, geography, and environment. You can say biodiversity in specific, and governance means policies and rules, and international organization. So let's start with questions. We are going to start with 31st question because till 30 we have covered in last 3 videos. 31st question. See, already in previous videos I have explained about the word type of question that UPSC asks. Every year it will ask. Example, in 2016 I guess it has asked about the India Arc. In 2017 it has asked about hackathon. Okay, and in 2018 and 19 I don't remember, but it has asked. But in 2020 it has asked about Texas intermediaries. Okay, like this UPSC always ask about the word type questions. So I also framed these word type questions. This is not the first time I have framed this word type question. In previous videos also I have framed. And NAT, NA, Natrex. What is this? This is initiative of Ministry of Heavy Industries. Its aim is to build 11.3 kilometers high speed track. Why? To check the speeds of high end cars. Okay, and here you have to understand that this is the longest track in Asia and 5th largest in the world. What is this NARTRAX? It is National Automotive Testing and Research and Development Infrastructure Project. This is what you have to know. Nothing much you should know about this NATRAX. When it comes to the energy compact is nothing but a voluntary agreement to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 7. What is this Sustainable Development Goal 7? It is nothing but to achieve energy efficiency and renewable energy goal and access to energy. Okay, why it is in news? It is in news because NTPC is the first energy company in the energy domain in India to declare its energy compact goals as part of UN high level dialogue on energy. Okay, this is what you should know about the energy compact. You should not know more than this. Okay, because it is a word type, that's it. Pangolin. What is pangolin? You should not confuse with pangolin with a pangolin mammal. Okay, pangolin is phylogenetic assignment of named global outbreak lineages. This actually I have explained about this term in last videos also. Again I am explaining. It is a software proposed to implement the dynamic nomenclature of SARS-CoV-2. What is this? It is a coronavirus. Means what? It is a software which is established to implement the dynamic nomenclature of coronavirus, that is known as Pango nomenclature. So let's see the options. The option number 1 is correct. It is not height, it is a high speed track and energy compact. It will cover it is voluntary, yes, voluntary agreement to achieve this one, SDG 7 targets. And pangolin, dynamic nomenclature of virus, correct, to implement the dynamic nomenclature of coronavirus. So answer is D. And if you want to know that who developed this software, it is Rambout. If UPSC asks in examination that it is developed by WHO, don't get confused. It's not developed by WHO, it is developed by the Rambout. Coming to the next question, 32nd. See why I have asked this type of question. Here you have to understand in 2016. Okay, as if I remember, UPSC has asked about the orange banana. Okay, first time Indian botanist has found orange bananas in Andaman and Nicobar, okay, island. What happened in 2016? When I was reading, I felt that this type of questions UPSC will not ask. Okay, so whenever I was revising, I will see this topic, I will say okay, this will UPSC will not ask. I used to ignore. But in 2016 when I was in hall, I have seen suddenly this question. Because I have ignored so many times, I remembered. When I have seen it directly, I was checking in option where is the orange banana. So I have ticked. So these type of questions UPSC definitely ask if something has found for the first time or found after so many years. Okay, so it is very important to know. Recently in May, I guess, after 129 years, they have found one snake in Assam. This is also very important. Then it will become very important thing. That snake is Knell. It will start with this and Knell something. You can check on Google. And they have even found in Arunachal Pradesh, that is butterflies. So let's see about this passage. Consider the following passage. Pyrostria lalaji. Pyrostria lalaji is a new species that recently been discovered from Andaman Islands. It is the first recorded. Which one? This is the first recorded of the genus Pyrostria in India. It is 15-meter tall tree. It has been assessed as a critically endangered by IUCN. So the above mentioned species belongs to which of the following family? Banana, coffee, tea, orange. Which one? Can you guess? See, these type of questions, only if you have read you will do it. Otherwise you will never do it. Okay, because it is first time recorded, that's why it may be important for the UPSC. More than that 129 years after the snake has been found, right? Otherwise more than that Arunachal Pradesh butterfly, this will be the most important compared to these questions, because it is first time it is recorded in India, like that orange banana. Okay, so answer is coffee here. Okay, this is a species belongs to the coffee. Yes, it is actually shocked because coffee actually will not grow this much height. Coffee is plant, right? Hardly it will grow 1 meter. That's it. But here 15 meters. But it belongs to the coffee tree. Coming to the 33rd question. With reference to the 5G technology, which of the following statement is slash or correct? See, 5G is very much in use, we all know. Okay, and moreover, you have to understand that you may ask, does UPSC ask this type of questions? Yes, it will ask. Take 2018 as example. It has asked in 2018 about 4G and 3G, right? Okay, in 2019 it has asked about virtual technology and artificial technology. In 2020 it has asked about 40 gate technology, some technology it has asked. Okay, in 2021 again, which is in use, again 5G is in use. Okay, so here it has asked combinedly 4G and 3G. So now UPSC may not ask the difference between the 5G and 4G, it may ask specific features of the 5G. So definitely you should know about the 5G now. See, 5G uses actually much higher radio frequencies, that is more than 28 gigahertz. This is one of the feature. The second feature that you should remember is it will transfer data much faster than the 4G, right? That's why it is called 5G. So what is the speed? Then the speed will be more than 20 GPS per second, gigabyte per second. Okay, and the third one is what? See, here you have to understand latency. What is the latency? Means the data that will go to satellite, from satellite to again receiver. Okay, from satellite to network to receiver, you can say the time taken to get that data to the receiver, how much time it will take, that is the delay. The gap means you will send a message, you will search for on Google something, it will go to network to satellite to network, and it will come back to you, right? There is a time gap between this. Okay, this is known as a latency. Okay, definitely 4G latency, if it is 20 milliseconds, 5G it should be less than 20 milliseconds, because this is the fastest technology, right? So latency will be less. This 5G can support around in 1 kilometer square area, it can support around million people. Okay, whereas 4G will support only 4,000 people, less than 4,000 people. And this is actually disadvantage. Many people are claiming that the radiation will be very high and it will actually damage humans and other biodiversity or other living organisms. Anyway, this is the main things that you should know about the 5G technology. Okay, now let's see the options. The 5G has higher latency as compared to the 4G. It's wrong, right? It has lesser. 5G supports about 4,000 devices per square kilometer. Wrong, right? It supports 1 million. 5G uses higher radio frequencies. This is correct. So answer is A. 34th. Consider the following statement regarding Sukanya Samriddhi account. Okay, actually why I have asked this Sukanya Samriddhi account, very old scheme, because small saving schemes is in news, right? Why it is in news? Because government actually wanted to take decision to reduce the interest rate on this saving schemes. Okay, about this I have clearly explained in editorial discussion. If you have not watched, please go and watch those videos because I have extensively and very clearly discussed. Now I am not going to take because it is going to take again long time. So this in these small saving schemes I have also discussed in previous videos what are the small saving schemes. Okay, in that one of them is Sukanya Samriddhi schemes. You have, if you want to know that exactly, you can watch my previous videos. Okay, that's why I have asked about the Sukanya Samriddhi scheme. Okay, now Sukanya Samriddhi account. The parents can open only maximum 2 accounts in the name of 2 different girl children. Is it correct or wrong? It is correct. The Sukanya Samriddhi account will mature on completion of 21 years from the date of opening of account. This is also correct. The partial withdrawal will be allowed on the account holder attaining the age of 18. This is also correct. Okay. The fourth one is tax deduction can be claimed if you have this Sukanya Samriddhi scheme and if you are contributing to this scheme. Minimum 250 and maximum 1.5 lakhs can be invested in these accounts in one financial year in one account. If you want to open this account, you should open between 0 to 10 years of the girl's age. After this you cannot open. These are the main basic features that you should remember. Now more than this you no need to remember anything else. And one more thing is if you want to close this account before completing this 21 years, okay, you can close once the girl has achieved 18 years, has turned 18 years old. These are the basic features that you should remember. Beyond this you no need to remember. So answer is D. Coming to the 35. With reference to the Unmanned Aircraft System Rules 2020, which of the following statement is are correct? See why I have asked the drone attack on Jammu Air Base. Okay, about this I have extensively in detail I have actually explained by taking mains question which is framed by me only. I have extensively explained in and out of the drones. Okay, how they will impact our security and what to do and everything I have explained for 40 minutes. You can go and check if you have not seen it. Coming to these rules, definitely because the attack has happened, you should know the rules. What is the rule here? The manufacturer or importer of drones can sell these drones only to a person or entity, individual or entity which is approved by DGCA. Okay, and there is actually a general drones and specific drones. Okay, general drones, in general drones there is only one drone, that is nano. It doesn't require any qualified remote pilot. Okay, and the restrictions are not there to use nano drones, but for other drones you need qualified remote pilot, especially for operating heavier drones. The third feature is these drones shall not be operated in India unless if the third party has, who is using this, valid insurance. If this drone causes any damage, liability should be there. Another most important feature is no drone should carry payloads. Okay, because of these payloads only, right, they have dropped, these payloads were dropped on Jammu air base, that is explosives. Okay, except with the permission of DGCA. If you have DGCA, you can use it, payloads. And no person shall drop or project or permit to be dropped from drone in motion. Okay, so these are the main features that you should know definitely. Okay, because the attack has happened and mostly these drones are in news in 2020, in 2019 and 2021 because of these terror attacks. Terror attacks is, this is the first time actually the drones are used to drop explosives, but previously the drones were used for scanning the area, to getting security information. Drones are used to transport the arms, ammunitions and satellite phones, etc. Okay, come to these options now. A manufacturer can sell devices only to individuals approved by the DGCA. Correct. Only qualified remote pilot will be permitted to operate any drone. Wrong. For nano it is not required, right? In general, if you remove 2, then answer is C. In general, no person shall drop or project or permit to be dropped from a not UAE, from a UAS in motion any object. So answer is B. Now coming to the 36th, which of the following is or correctly matched? See, this is again a factual based question. Definitely you should be knowing these 3 things are very important for India now. For naval development is very important for India to achieve its net security ambition and to safeguard its energy lines and to counter China's string of pearls policy and etc. Okay, so INS Vikramaditya, only aircraft carrier in India. Yes, this is true. INS Kadamba, Project Seabird. Yes, this is true. What is INS Kadamba? It is a naval base. Okay, actually if this Project Seabird completes, this INS Kadamba will become the India's largest naval base. Where it is? It is in Karnataka. Cover. So it is covered in area, its total area will be around in 11,000 crores, sorry 11,000 hectares, sorry acres. So you should know about this, and INS Vikrant, because we only have one aircraft, we are developing another aircraft, that is indigenously. Means what? Our navy is developing this. Okay, so it is the first indigenous aircraft. This is also correct, so answer is D. Coming to the 37th question. So why I have asked this question? Because we know that recently Supreme Court has given a timeline of July 31st to the state government and central government to collect data of migrants and implement one nation one ration card scheme. On this topic I have covered in editorial discussion. I have covered extensively the 2 in 1. I took 1 hour. Very extensively I have covered. If you have not seen it, please go and watch. It will be very beneficial for you, because those type of facts and everything you will not get in one place. And coming to this, the Interstate Migrant Workman Act 1979. Okay, you should know about this. act, definitely 100% you should know, because the interstate migration or migration is very much in news from 2020 April. Because of lockdowns, the migration has happened again, the restrictions, migrations, all these things has affected the migrants people. Many migrant people has lost their life, lack of food and everything. Okay, definitely you should know about this act. What this act says, this act says that whoever, whichever the entity employing interstate, especially interstate migration means what, state to state migration is known as interstate migrants. Okay, that entity should be registered. Okay, and the contractor who is employing these interstate migrants should have license. Okay, and if this law is implemented properly, then state missionaries will have the information on interstate migrants, which help them to frame schemes for interstate migrants. Okay, but this law was not implemented properly. Okay, that's why during COVID-19 pandemic, these migrants have suffered a lot, because with the state governments there is no data, or with the central government there is no data, because the lack of implementation of this law. Now that's why Supreme Court has given a deadline for to the states and central government to implement by July 31st. Coming to these options now, mandatorily require all establishments who hire the state migrants to be registered, correct. Contractors who require interstate migrants acquire interstate migrants should have employ, you can say who employ interstate migrants should have license, correct. It established the national migrant information system, it is wrong, because about this I have already explained you. Already I framed question which has established this one, National Disaster Response Fund, means National Disaster Management Authority has developed this online dashboard. Moreover, you can easily eliminate this. This is about the information system, right? If you have seen my, I guess, yesterday's video on July 1st editorial, then you will understand that what is the condition of service sector in 1979. If you know that, if you eliminate this, then answer will be A. You no need to know even the provisions. So coming to the 38th question, see why I have asked this thing, because Ukraine and USA has held a military exercise in Black Sea. Okay, so I have asked because UPSC has this habit of asking about seas and the bordering states, the states which border these seas. Here you have to understand that which states border. If this is a Black Sea, imagine here Russia will be there, and here Ukraine will be there, here Romania will be there, here Bulgaria will be there, here Turkey will be there, and here Georgia. Okay, here Iran will be there. So this is Russia, this is Ukraine, this is Romania, this is Bulgaria, this is Turkey, this is Georgia, this is Black Sea. Okay, now see, Russia is there, Turkey is there, Romania is there. What about Iran? Iran is here. So it is not there, it is wrong. So answer is C. So A. Answer is A. Coming to the 39th. Consider the following statements regarding the Attorney General of India. Because why? Now the present attorney term has been extended again. Okay, so you should know about his appointment and about the conditions mentioned in the constitution, everything. Who will appoint? It is president who is appointing on the advice of the government. Okay, and what is his qualification? His qualification is he should be qualified to be appointed as a judge of Supreme Court. Okay, another thing is the term of office. The term of office is mentioned in the constitution or not? No, constitution has not defined anything, term of office, nothing. And removal procedure also not mentioned, not stated in the constitution of India. These two provisions are very, very, very important. If UPSC want to trap you, will trap you with by using these two provisions only, because in the examination tension, in exam hall, in the tension to recall these two provisions are very difficult. So you should remember, whenever you see these provisions, you should remember that. And the functions most probably UPSC may not ask, because everybody would have known what are the functions of this Attorney General of India. But he has some rights. What are those rights that you should know? Because he has right to speak and take part in the proceedings of both the houses of the parliament, but without any right to vote. You should remember, without any right to vote. Please do remember, it is without any right to vote. Okay, he enjoys all, because he is having all the rights to participate and take part in proceedings of these both the houses. He also have the privileges and immunities available for the member of the parliament. Okay, and most important thing you have to understand is this guy does not come under the category of government servant. Please remember, he will not come under the category of government servant. Okay, if you know this much, then you can easily answer this question. He is appointed by the president, correct. He is part of the union executive, correct. And constitution has provided him with the term, wrong. So answer is A. Now what to call the 48th question. Okay, with reference to the Financial Action Task Force, which of the following statement is correct? This is in news because again this intergovernmental organization has kept Pakistan again under grey list. Okay, there is grey list and black list. Okay, what is the difference between the grey list and black list? In the grey list are countries that are safe havens for supporting terror funding and money laundering. Okay, and these countries will be first warned and will be asked to reform their money laundering acts and eliminate the terror financing. If these countries don't listen to the Financial Action Task Force, then these countries will be kept under the blacklist as a non-cooperative countries. That is the difference. So you should know about the Financial Action Task Force, right? What is this? This was first established under which? GS Summit. It was established during the GS Summit. And India is member or not? Definitely India is member. Okay, in this the speciality is only two regional organizations are members. One is GCC and another is European Union. Okay, its secretariat, where you know, it is at Organization for Economic Cooperation Development. Okay, OECD. So, and it has two lists, that is grey list and black list, that just now I have explained you. Okay, this much if you know, then you can write, you can answer any type of question if UPSC asks. If UPSC asks, it will ask simple question only, because this is the first time that UPSC will be asking about this. So only European organization, this is wrong. GCC is also member and its secretariat is in Geneva, wrong. Okay, India is yet to become, wrong. It is intergovernmental body established during the GS Summit, this is correct. So this is all about the 10. These 10 questions are looks very easy but very tricky. You should, whenever you see this type of topics, you should be very, very cautious, because many people will lose marks here only. And these type of questions definitely UPSC asks. That's why I have given always the examples also, the previously how UPSC has asked. That's it. Thank you.